Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to talk about why you're currently thinking in days and weeks and why you should be thinking in years and decades. So a lot of us start out and figuring out what we want to do with our lives by thinking, what do I want to do tomorrow? What do I want to do in a week? What's going to be the most fun or be the least difficult task to take on? And we're going about it the wrong way. Instead, it should be, where do I want to be when I'm 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old? And whatever your age is, that plus 10, 20, 30 years. Because if we're trying to do the best for ourselves next week, it's a much different story and many different approaches than if you're trying to build the perfect life or the best life you can have in a decade or 2 decades. So I talked about this a little bit before in a different video, but if someone were to come in and ask you to learn an entirely new language and be done by like next week and be completely fluent, no mistakes, nothing, that's impossible. And in another instance, if someone came to you and said, I need you to memorize this language, but I'll give you 10 years to do so. It's such an easy thing. You just it's the same goal, but it's completely different timelines. And by giving yourself a different timeline, there's so much more you can accomplish. And I mean, I even say you can memorize multiple languages in that 10-year span instead of just one. So when you're changing your perspective on timeline and expectations of outcomes, you can drastically change what you're actually going to do and how big and the magnitude of those things are. So that being said, if you can focus on where you want to be in 10, 20, 30 years instead of 10, 20, 30 days, you can really create something spectacular through, even just if you do something, if you get 1% better every day, that's a few percent in a days, but that's exponentially different in years and decades. So I say that to say, when you're looking at what you want to do in the future or even now and what path you want to pursue, keep that in mind, because if you base it off of the next few weeks or next few months, for example, it's summer's coming. So if you want to get a summer job and you base off of, this is completely fine because your goals might be different. But if you're just looking for something in the summer, you're going to base off of your job, what's going to be the best for you in the next few months. Maybe that means a job that allows more free time. Maybe it means a lot more work but higher pay, something that you can't really last for years but you can do 3 months for. Versus if you think in where you want to be in 10 years, 20 years, you're now going to think more towards what I want to be doing on a daily basis for the next 10 years of my life, not what money am I going to get. And this kind of a concept I keep on bringing up in multiple videos is when it changes from output oriented to input oriented, it allows you to go much further and be more patient and understand that no matter what you're going to win, it's just of how long it's going to take. Because you're not here to go up and down with the mood swings of external influences and external outcomes. It's more so of, okay, this is what I have to do on a daily basis to get to that outcome. And yes, sometimes luck plays in effect and things you can't control. But if you're constantly showing up and constantly putting in that work for 10 years, there's absolutely no way you can't get closer to success than where you are right now. So choose something that you want to do on a daily basis, that you can get up in the morning and think, oh, I'm actually excited to go and do this. Like for example, we're building something right now. And in 10 years, if and when everything goes right and goes in the right direction, I'm going to look back, I'm going to be like, this is exactly what I wanted to be doing. Because it took me some time to find it, but building something using the skills we've built on each other from past businesses has allowed us to start creating something really valuable to put out into the world and to create as a use for people and to create value for people and to connect people. That's something I'm extremely passionate about and interested in. And I think the more value, knowledge, freedom you can give to people in a way that connects them and brings them together, I think that's something truly powerful. And I think the tool we can do to do that is what we're building right now. So that of itself is kind kind of, I guess, a mix of both. It's income outcome related because of the goal, but it's also like internal, of that's just what, like me as a person, that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy bringing people together. I enjoy bringing value to people, and everyone, like having everyone grow and win together. So in addition to that being the outcome, I also enjoy the labor it takes to do so. Whether that's, I mean, to be honest with this, with like a startup, for example, there's so many layers to it and there's so much that you have to do that you can't even assume what the next 10 years are going to look like in terms of work or even output. But you do know that you're going to learn and you're going to have to grow and constantly adapt and change to what the startup needs from you. And that's something I really like because it forces me to keep moving and keep growing. And I think if I'm too stagnant for a long period of time, which I felt like I was in wholesaling specifically, then I kind of regress and I start losing motivation because I don't feel like I'm really moving anywhere or doing things that will help me grow. So in terms of a startup, there's so much to do. It's so overwhelming, but it's such a big idea, and the time frame is so long that if you just cut it into small pieces of daily, like what do you need to do today to show up and to do what's required, and you do that for 10 years straight, you'll look back and be like, whoa, look how far I climbed, and then you'll see the mountain, the next mountain, and be like, look how much more I need to go. So that's my little 2 cents for the day. If you found it valuable, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Look at this. That's your little surprise for making it all the way. But yeah, get a cat. Yeah, that's my recommendation. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.